Another Duly Noted Podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point. Hello again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Another Duly Noted Podcast. Of course, always presented to you by Titan MRI from the Shakow and Mercandani Studios. We got a great show for you. It's our Christmas show. We're doing it a little bit earlier than normal, obviously, on a Wednesday instead of a Friday. Friday, we want to spend time with our loved ones on Christmas Eve. So we're doing the show today. Robbie Andreu is going to be in there a little bit. I've got his hat ready for him. He's going to have to wear it to get any money out of it at all. And a lot going on in the world of sports. We got to, I feel so like I'm really ready for Christmas. We're not doing a lot of gift exchanging this year, but I'm really ready for it because I've got all my guests lined up for the week after, too. Alyssa Lang is going to join us from the SEC Network, does an unbelievable job there. Jeff Chandler, the all-time leading scorer in Florida football history, will join us after that. And we've got other people lined up, so excited about that as well. It has been, look, I said this before. Every time you pick up your phone, you're going, what happened? Oh, did this happen? Did something really weird happen? And something weird keeps happening. And right as I'm pulling in today to the Shakow Mercandani Studios, of course, out of here at Steve Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, I'm pulling in, and they go, oh, we got a little breaking news. Texas A&M's out of the Gator Bowl. COVID problems. And I'm like, whoa, stop. What are you talking about? I was looking forward to that game against Wake Forest. I was having a hard time figuring out who to pick and everything. And no, got a problem. Got too many people lined up with this issue. It is a weird situation, and certainly nobody's tuning into the show to find out what I think about policies, vaccinations, or anything like that. I just say this: it all seems kind of weird. Like, are we going to try to end this thing or not? Either we're going to do it or not. And what they need to do, in my opinion, I think they need to quit playing basketball, to be honest with you. That's the worst COVID spreader there is. Just stop for a while and see how things go. Stop for a month. Is it really going to change anything? We can still have the tournament at some point, but I don't know. It's just a weird, crazy situation. But yeah, Texas. Now the thing about the Gator Bowl is they are in a situation. It's talk about bad timing. We had Greg McGarity on a week ago. We could have talked. Today would have been the great day to have him on, right? But they do have the option to pick another team, but they can only pick another team if it comes from a lesser bowl, bottom. They have tiers of the bowl games. So it would have to be somebody else who lost their opponent. And don't think that's not going to happen. It could. Already Miami's having issues. They don't know if they're going to have enough players to go to the Sun Bowl. My advice would be don't go. It's not that great a trip. But it is what it is. I mean, we're still dealing with this thing, and we're going to probably deal with it for a long time. I hate to say it, but we know what happens with things like this, and this one seems to be just pesky. It just won't go away. But again, I'm only going to talk about it in sports terms because that's all you really want to hear about. I'm curious whether we are going to find out on Saturday. When I say Saturday, I mean football Saturday, which is Thursday this year for Florida in their bowl game. So when Florida plays UCF, I'm sure there's going to be a statement sent out. These players tested positive or in protocol. These players opted out, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of guys. We know about a couple of guys that have. We know there's, Emory Jones is in the portal, but he's playing in the game and all this. There's a couple of guys. I'm not even sure. I couldn't even answer the question about it. I know one, and that'll be when Robbie comes in. I want to ask about him. But so we don't know. Not only is there a lot of questions going around, and I was on with Andy Staples, of course, who loves this show. You know that. And Aaron Murray, quarterback from Georgia, on Sirius this morning. We talked about it as well. Just, what is Florida want to get out of this game? What are they, are they going to be invested? Are the coaches going to be invested? And we talked about it. And of course, it always goes back to that one time. And it did happen, and I saw it with my own eyes, and it was the most embarrassing thing. And maybe that'll be a good list sometime. We can do, maybe next week on the on the Alex Wesley Construction list, 12-pack, we could do the 12 most embarrassing things that ever happened in Florida football. One of them would be that you had coaches walking around wearing Illinois shirts coaching your bowl game. And they were in their own offices in Gainesville, in their office with Illinois shirts on. Yep. It's the way you have to do it. So you never know. You never know. And here's the other thing that I was when I was on that show, I was talking about, because they brought it up. They kind of asked the question. I went, good question, because that's something I really want to talk about on the show today. The Napier factor. Is it even there? Does it have a big presence? Does it have a small presence? Does it have a 10% presence? We have no idea. Maybe it has no presence. I mean, he's obviously involved in everything that's going on over there at the University of Florida, but most of it is involved in, getting staff members and this army of people. I think I'm I was hired today, by the way, Director of Snarky Comments. That is going to be my new title at the University of Florida. But but while he's doing that, he's also trying to evaluate players. He's doing everything, probably not getting a lot of sleep. I'm sure he's doing a really good job. It seems like he really knows what he's doing. But it is just kind of a weird situation. But is it affecting the current players on the current team? These guys are being coached by somebody else. Obviously, their whole coaching staff is probably gone after the year, including, I would think, most of the grad assistants and volunteer assistants and consultants and analysts and everything. I mean, Florida had put together a pretty nice package of, for that coaching staff in terms of all the different people they had, kind of in that same model of Alabama. They just hadn't taken it to here. They never wanted to take it to here. They were always like, we'll get enough of those guys around, and what do you? Put on a nice graphic and stuff like that. But it just wasn't taken as seriously as it needed to be. And I think, we don't want to get into what happened. We only want to get into what is going to happen. So we had that going on. Whether the Napier factor is big, and I'll ask Robbie about it when he comes in. Because whether that factor is there or not, that's the thing, the big unknown. We really have no idea. Even if he's shows up at practice, looks at guys for 10 minutes and walks away. I know a lot of his staff's been down there to evaluate players in practice, and maybe they have practiced their butts off because they want to play next year. These are all the unknowns as we go through life. Well, especially college football team's life. I did want to mention what Dameon Pierce said this week. They asked him why he's playing in the bowl game. He said, I'm paraphrasing it, I'm a Gator. I signed a scholarship. I had 4 years. I play all 4 years, every game. I got my degree. I mean, I love that kid so much. I want Dameon Pierce to get a 43 carry game like Fred Taylor did in the Outback Bowl that year when they just decided, we don't have anybody that can throw the ball. Doug Johnson's hurt, so that means Noah and Jesse are the quarterback. Nah, we're just going to give it to Fred. And all we do, if we can get to 17 points, we'll win the game. I want to see Dameon Pierce get that kind of game. Interesting. I was thinking about this today because I had this whole little thing to talk about how the SEC is in 13 teams are in bowl games, everybody but Vanderbilt. And that if you looked at it, in 9 of the games, the SEC's favored to win. Now, that changes because Texas A&M is not in a bowl game anymore. And I can't remember whether they were favored. I would think they were favored over Wake Forest. Now, I was so looking forward to that game. So looking forward to it. It's just sad that it just got one day all the people go, there's too many bowl games. You go, well, what if they were going to play Texas A&M and Wake Forest right now? You go, I'll watch that. But there's too many bowl games. Anyway, but they were 9-4 as favorites. So now I think it's 8-4. And I think it's important what the SEC does in these games because it has a lot to do with where you're ranked in the next year, in the polls, and momentum, and all that stuff. We'll see how important it is. I mean, obviously, it didn't pan out. Well, it did in a way when you think about with Dan Mullen. I mean, they win their bowl game the first year, better the next year, win their bowl game the next year, had things going really well the following year until the collapse at the end, but that I don't think that had anything to do with the momentum from the previous year, and then had the terrible finish, including the embarrassing bowl game. And what did they do? 6-6. Well, 5-6 under Dan Mullen. They didn't even have a winning record. So that's interesting stuff going forward. Miami, there is some concern. In fact, when they came on the air and said breaking news about a bowl game, I went, oh, Miami had to cancel their bowl. Well, right now, they may have to cancel their bowl, the Sun Bowl. We'll see how that goes. There's a bunch of guys opting out and transferring and stuff. I just wanted to get some of them. Keaton Slovis, the quarterback from USC, ended up going to Pitt. Jahmyr Gibbs. When Jahmyr Gibbs announced he was in the transfer portal, Georgia Tech running back, I watched this kid play. He is so good. I love that guy. And I was watching him, and I was like, man, Florida needs to get that guy because he was a Florida Georgia Tech. I'm pretty sure that those were his choices. And instead, he decides to go to Alabama. Like, come on. Like, they need more running backs. They need more great players. I wanted you to come here. And then, I pay no attention to recruiting, but that was one that I did pay attention to. Already this year, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is going to be really good. Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm sorry. And the kid, Eli Ricks, is that his name, from LSU, the defensive back who was out all year with an injury pretty much, but was a freshman All-American. And Alabama got them in the transfer portal. And they already had like the third best class. What the hell? How are you supposed to catch up with that? Sorry to get off on a rant there. All right, we got a lot of things to get to. We're going to talk to Robbie. We got a lot of things to talk about with him here on our Christmas special. And, of course, all of our great sponsors. We'll get to all of our usual suspects, as we like to call them. The Adams Gribbo to Go Gator of the Week is a really good one this week especially. So we will take a break, then we'll come back with Robbie Andreu. Will he or won't he wear this hat? That's going to be the big question. What's your guess, Evan? He will. You said he will. All right. We'll be back right after this break here on Another Dooley Noted Podcast from the Shaq Allen Mercandani Studios.
Car accidents, trucking accidents, motorcycle accidents, and wrongful death. If injured or killed by the negligence of others, who will fight for the compensation you deserve? Shaq-Allen Mercadante, 5 lawyers, more than 100 years of combined legal experience, millions in settlements and verdicts. Call Shaq-Allen Mercadante, 371-3000. Rebuilding lives.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
Another Duly Noted Podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point. You can watch and listen to us on Facebook and YouTube for every podcast that we do on Mondays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, any of the other 39 platforms where you can find this podcast or your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below or call me if you want to do some advertising at 352-317-3444. The Gainesville Quarterback Club wants you to be a member. The football season is over, except for the bowl game, of course, but they are taking applications to be a member, and there is another one in the spring where they have the first spring game where they have the head coach, Billy Napier. You will be there, I would assume. Maybe our first chance to really talk to him. I'm looking forward to that one. But they're taking applications for the oldest quarterback club in the Gator Nation. Simply email a request to membership@qbclub.org or just email me or just call me. You know how to get a hold of me, 317-3444. My number may be the most known number in the world. It's like right behind 867-5309. But don't worry about it. Call me. I will get you hooked up with the right people. I'm recommending it.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Trebo Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Bite Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Pat Dooley, of course, from Another Dooley Noted Podcast. And this is a great Adam Brewer, and he's just opened up a place here, Adam Brew To Go. What gave you the idea to do this, to have a to-go place?
We really like the fast concept, being able to get the barbecue. Now we have this new online ordering. So before it was a call ahead carry out, quick service. We have like a curbside kind of a deal where everything's ready to go for you. And then we thought, wow, we have a really great dine-in concept, but how can we make this streamlined for the customer and make it easy and accessible for all parts of town?
Adam's Rib Co. To Go. Come on down and enjoy it. Okay, and welcome in as we continue with our Christmas special here on a Wednesday. And we are excited to bring in Robbie Andreu because we wouldn't be Christmas without Saint Robbie and his great Christmas hat. I told you I would get him into a hat.
You did. I got invited on the show, and all I got was a silly hat.
Well, you did.
In the spirit of Christmas, I'll gladly wear it.
Well, I appreciate it. And a lot going on in the world of college football. We've got a lot of things I want to talk to you about. But, I mean, Robbie, look, I've looked at Central Florida's team, and the more I study them, they're not very good. I mean, they're 8-4. They lost to Navy. They
almost lost to South Florida, which isn't very good.
And the bottom line is Florida's got better players, so it's all going to be about attitude. And believe me, the announcers are going to have a field day with that.
Oh, yeah. And, Pat, you have to wonder about Florida's prep. They had 8 or 9 days. They only used 4 or 5 of practice. So
but
it makes
why
you
would,
wonder where they are.
If you were a coach that didn't
care?
Yeah, well, you didn't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
Next year you would go, we'll practice. Look, you guys know the plays already.
Yeah. But the whole thing, this is on the players, Pat.
Yeah.
The coaching staff left. They have nothing riding on this game at all.
No.
The players do, though. And I think you would want to play hard for your new coach who's going to be watching every move and studying the tape of this game and others. So
sure.
I would think that'd be motivation enough. But look at the bowl game last year, Pat. It was a pathetic performance. And that was part of the Mullen downfall to me.
Yeah,
the way he approached that
we
game.
were talking about that today. I think it started with LSU.
Well, yeah, the shoe throw was the beginning
but the
of
fact that they didn't get ready the way they would normally get ready for a big game, they were kind of looking ahead to Alabama, and the coaches' staff.
Yeah, the whole Pitts thing, everything that
didn't play Pitts. Could have played him. And so I think it just kind of went, and then it was like it got on this downward slide, and it couldn't stop.
Yeah. And Pat, this is a coach that had been in the SEC for how many years? 20 years, basically, with Florida.
Yeah.
And not to know that if you don't get ready for a team like LSU in this league, you're going to get beat, and that's what happened.
I was actually had lunch with my good friend Sticks, Ryan Halstead.
The group Sticks?
And no, but he spells it the same way, except that he's got an extra. He has 3 X's.
Oh, wow.
But he's really good friends with our good friends, Trish and Brandon, who are no longer a couple, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. No.
But you told me that. I thought you were just kidding.
No, it's true.
I'm shocked by
that.
We're
breaking news here.
It is. I thought you were just pulling my leg when you said all that. I didn't even.
No, it's true.
I would have never thought that would happen, but you never know.
Yeah. So on a Christmas show, we're going to tell you about the sad truths out there in the world.
But other people don't know.
But anyway, we were talking about the LSU game and all these games and where it all went bad, and everybody's got their like different theories.
Yeah.
About everything, and I always kind of go, look, it was just this steady fall, and I'm back to my argument, which I think is a good one, that if you start next year with Dan Mullen as your coach and you open up with Utah and Kentucky, it's just it could start all over again. Yeah.
There was no way out of this.
No.
He had to be fired, Pat, and I think Strickland knew that. I think most people did know it, that he had gotten himself into a position where they weren't going to get any better. He'd reached his ceiling, and he couldn't reverse that downward trend that started at the end of last year.
All right, Robbie, we got a few things, a few little elements for you on today's show. By the way, I need to put the Chris Hand stuff up because I did not mention that Robbie Andreu is sponsored by Hand Law. As we all know, Hand Law, which also sponsors Three Things, but they also sponsor Robbie's segment, and that's why people love to have Robbie on. I don't get the appeal to you when I have you on the radio.
I don't get
when
it
I have
either.
you on here. I don't get why people like you.
Yeah, we were at Arnold's going away thing, and people were like going, "How you guys are great together." I'm thinking, we are.
And poor
No.
Jeff's like, I do own the show. You know?
Yeah, it is Jeff's show.
Three Things is presented by Hand Law. No.
What?
Robbie Andrew's appearances are presented by Hand Law, a Florida law firm which helps clients with government. You can learn more about Hand Law by visiting its website at www.hand.law. The firm is available for consultation in Jacksonville, the home
Of Tim
no
Dooley.
longer of Urban Meyer.
But the home of Tim Dooley, so he should go to Hand Law.
He should go to Hand Law.
Yeah.
He probably does. We appreciate what Chris Sanders does. Just a little Christmas thought here. Our sponsors have been unbelievable. I've talked to several of them, and football's over, and they're like, "No, we're in. We love the show. We love the numbers that you guys are producing. We want to be part of it."
Good job, Pat.
Yes.
Well, it's hard to believe that Mullen and Meyer got fired in the same year.
It is.
Isn't
It's
it
like
kinda weird.
It's like this weird. Like if you go back to September, think about what you would tell. And I was talking about this. I started to talk about it with McElroy the other day, but I did talk about it on the last show. Think if you could go back to August, Robbie,
Yeah.
and say, "Okay, Robbie, you won't believe it, but Oklahoma and Texas are going to join the SEC, and they'll probably do it right away." And then you go, now you come to December, Robbie, you go, is this going to happen
I know, you
in
have
the
to
next
wonder.
5 years?
Yeah.
There's going to be a 12-team playoff, and it
When's
could
that gonna
happen really
now?
quick.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's going to happen.
It just doesn't happen quick when you do
It's
big changes like that.
unbelievable. All the things that have changed about that. But, all right, so we're going to start out with this segment, which is your favorite, Robbie, from the old days of radio at WRUF.
Right.
Yes, no way, or maybe.
Oh, okay.
You love yes, no way, or maybe,
Yes,
right?
no way, or maybe. Okay.
All right, first one. Emory Jones is the player of the game in the Gasparilla Bowl. He wins the award as the MVP.
Maybe. Because usually if the winning team's quarterback plays well and he gets
Right.
it, and I think Florida is going to win the game, but is he going to play well enough to get that award? So it may be a running back. It may be Pierce.
Well, in a way, it is set
maybe.
up. It's set up for Emory
Yeah.
Jones to win it. Because, like you said, everybody's going to look at the quarterback, and
Yeah.
he can put up some big
Yeah,
numbers.
and he's going to be highly motivated, Pat, because he's looking for another team
Yep.
where he can step in and play right away. He's going to want this is like a chance for him to show what other coaches, other teams, what he can do.
No.
And when he's on, he's very good.
Not only that, but he's not only did he throw, I think, 19 touchdowns this year, and I know he threw 13 picks, but he's the team's leading rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
He
like
is.
the perfect. I mean, if I was going to bet, that's what I would bet on that.
I'm going to do a maybe on that though.
Okay, I'll go with a yes on that. All right. The thing that got Dan Mullen fired was that he loved winning the yardage awards, not the game. I'm just kidding, of course. But
Yeah.
does Florida
But he
win the
seemed to
yard?
like that.
Does Florida win the yardage award for this game against UCF?
I would say yes, Pat.
I
But for one thing, I don't think UCF at the end of the year they weren't playing all that great either.
No.
If Florida comes in ready to play, I think they'll move the ball, and I think that Florida's defense is coming off a pretty good game against FSU, and I think they can, hold them to less than maybe 300 yards.
All right, this is kind of a prop bet. Yes, no, or no way, or maybe. The winning coach gets a Gatorade bath.
I'm going to say no way on that one. Aren't you, Pat? I mean, it's just not a big game.
But I think Greg Knox would get one.
He might.
Yeah, because
just
they would
players,
go, we love that you stayed here. Now see ya.
They appreciate what he's
I
done.
wonder if they
for
let
them.
him get on the bus. I mean,
Yeah. But people should appreciate what he's done, the way he held that team together, beat FSU in a game where they could have easily lost. So, and if he holds them together and they win another game, yeah, maybe.
All right, there is a defensive score in the game. Yes, no way, or maybe.
I'm going to say no way for Florida, maybe for UCF, but no. Florida doesn't get turnovers, and I don't see a defensive score for Florida.
I was looking up. I was doing something for the Gators Wire that I do like a history thing, and I was looking at the two games Florida played against UCF in the past, and I was looking at one of the games. I think it was the 06 game when they won 42-0, and it was like tackled running back in end zone. I think Kelvin Smith was his name. Tackled running back in end zone for a safety, and I'm like, that counts as 2 points? I didn't even know those things counted anymore. I haven't seen anything like that ever happen in the last. It feels like 8 years since anybody's done anything to score points.
There are no dynamic defensive plays anymore for Florida.
No, and that's one thing that, if Billy Napier asks my advice, and I know he will.
He will, Pat. You know he will.
He'll come to me and go, "Oh, Sage Obi-Wan."
Oh, old sports writer.
It'll be. Maybe I can do the Baby Yoda. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see if they can maybe make something happen for once. Might as well go out with something, and then we go, oh, now you do it.
Yeah, but you know what? UCF is going to try to grind the ball on the ground on them and control it. So,
okay, I talked about this before, Robbie. There were 13 bowl teams from the SEC, but now Texas A&M is booted because of COVID.
Are they definitely out?
They're out.
They're not going to play the game?
They're not. Well, if they can get somebody from another bowl, but that bowl has to have a problem. It's got to be a lower bowl. It's complicated. So probably they're out.
This thing won't go away, Pat.
It won't.
It's unbelievable.
Far from going away.
Yeah.
So that means that the SEC is 8-4 favorites in terms of they're favorites in 8 games in the bowl season and underdogs in 4. What do you think their record will be at the end of this?
12 games?
12, or you could add a 13th if you feel so inclined. Or 4, yeah. Well, technically, if they get to Georgia, Alabama at the end, you can only go 1-1.
Yeah. I'd say 8-4, Pat.
Yeah, I think the league will do pretty good.
I think they always do. And the match, you look at the matchups, they match up pretty well on most of those. So.
Okay, so now we're going to do something, Robbie. And again, we want to have a fun Christmas show, right?
Okay.
Where I'm going to ask you to give presents.
Where are the food and drinks?
They're exactly where they are every time we do this show.
Okay.
Somewhere else.
They're around us.
Yes. I know they're here somewhere. Here in the Shackal Mercandone Studios. But we're going to give Christmas presents, Robbie. And I'm going to start out with Billy Napier. I know what I would give him if I could give Billy Napier one Christmas present. I want you to think about it. I would give Billy Napier one All-SEC player at the end of the year. Just one. Okay? If that would be an improvement. Somebody that steps up and plays at a high level.
Yeah.
And let them – it's like you can't have followers if you don't have leaders.
Yeah.
And that's what Florida really needs is one great player to just kind of bring everybody with him. So I don't want 10. I want one. This year there was nobody on the first 2 teams.
Okay, you want one from me?
Yeah.
I would give him 1 year free of criticism. And it'll start with this recruiting class that he deserves a free pass on this one. To come in late and do what he did in the early part was great.
Yeah.
Now he wants to finish a little bit strong, but it's not going to be a top 10, 15, 20 class, so other people out there are going to criticize him for that, which I don't think he should. But I think he deserves a year of free from criticism. Let him do his job.
Yeah, well,
you look
but you know that's not going to happen.
Well, I know because Gator fans are idiots.
Well, there's idiots
The
and there's.
criticism was already out there, Pat.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
It's ridiculous.
I,
They get the quarterback from Ohio State instead of being happy about it. You look on message boards. Oh, he had a DUI or whatever.
Yeah, he did. Okay,
He did.
he did.
He's a college kid. Okay.
Yeah, you know who else did? Harrison Bader.
Yeah.
He turned out to be a pretty good player.
But my thing is, for
Although he
Gator
got
fans,
off on it.
just shut up and let Napier do his job for 1 year.
Yeah, for 1 year. No,
maybe a month.
You're asking Gator fans to
They
shut
can't.
up.
They can't.
We
do
can't
it.
do that.
No.
We wouldn't have a radio show if they
No,
did that. All right. Now for Scott Strickland, I've got a perfect present for Scott Strickland. A fire-free year, 2022. You don't have to fire anybody. And that'd be great for him. If he goes to a full year without having to fire, that's the toughest thing in the world. First of all, you're going through firing friends in the case of Dan Mullen.
Oh, I know. That had to be tough on him.
Then not obviously the Neubauer thing, not going to get into it too much, but obviously it wasn't handled right. He's had a rough time. And I think he's in a great mood now because he feels like he's finally got the answer in football. So just a fire-free year for Scott Strickland.
Okay, I would like to give him like a super hire for women's basketball. Pat.
Oh, that'd be good.
Where somebody that's going to definitely turn the program around to where it's good because they've never been good.
Never
I would love to go. I would love to see that.
I would love to go to women's basketball games if they were real good, but that's the only way they're going to ever attract anybody.
All these other teams that draw these fans, it's because they're good and they've been good for years.
Yeah, nobody's going to go just to watch the sport. You're not going to do that. You're going only if your team has reached a high level.
They wouldn't be filling up the stands at South Carolina if they were a 500 team.
They're number one. They beat number two, and they came back from 18 last night. Yeah, so. I mean, that's what you got to get to, but it's hard to find those coaches. The pool, I don't think, is quite as big.
But Florida has struck out every turn with women's basketball.
I don't think Amanda was that bad.
I don't either. And
I think Amanda's problem was she had too many players getting too much trouble.
Yeah.
There was one point I think they had 2 or 3 players that had felonies. So that's
not good for women's basketball.
She's out with a felony. That's never good. You never want to hear that happen.
Yeah.
All right, this is the next one, Robbie.
The next one or the last one?
Mike White, Florida basketball coach. Here's what I would give Mike White. Some Velcro, some Stickum. Put it on the hands of your players. 17 turnovers in the win over USF, and USF was so outclassed, even though they do play good defense. I will give them credit. In fact, I think Florida scored the most points anybody scored against them this year with only 66. But that's, to me, is the problem with this team. It's not just that they're a streaky shooting team, but they're constantly kicking the ball. They're going too fast sometimes.
Yeah.
And we want them to go fast. Well, not now.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to turn it over.
But I would give him just a better shooting team, Pat. Because this team is very athletic. They can play great defense. But they go into this funk on offense where they're going to struggle and not score, and that's what's happened in all their losses, where they go into this funk where nobody can score.
Exactly.
So I would give them guys that can score and maybe a dynamic shooter.
All right, we still got a couple more. You're doing good, though. You're thinking on your feet. I've had time to prepare this.
Should I stand up for the next two?
All right, Emory Jones, what would you give him? And I know what you would give him. I think I know this. I've got a different answer, but I think I know what you would give him.
A turnover-free bowl game.
Yeah,
that's what I would give him because
a good out, good out.
Yeah, because
to it all.
What people get frustrated with, like the FSU game, there were times where you look great, but then the interceptions in the first half, it was like guys wide open early in the second. Yeah, they had to. They had no choice. I would give him. If he has a turnover-free game, he'll go the distance and play well, and Florida will win.
Yeah, my Christmas present to Emory would be a soft landing space, somewhere where he's comfortable, and whether it's Georgia Tech, Louisville, somewhere like that.
Yeah, and he's not going to get booed the moment he does something wrong.
Exactly. So. I think the way that he's been treated, I think the way his mom's been treated, just not good. That's not a good
he's
look.
A great kid, Pat. I mean, you can see him in interviews and the way he is around people. He's a leader of that team. And
I hope he goes the Driscoll, Brissett, Will Greer route,
excels.
and he ends up in the NFL.
I would love to see that,
like they all did.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, and they all got booed too.
Yeah.
Well, except Greer. He only got booed walking down the street.
Yeah.
All right, for Anthony Richardson, what would you give him? My thing to give him as a Christmas present would be, Anthony, you are injury-free for a year. Because really, when you think about it, if Florida's going to put all their eggs in that basket, he's been hurt a lot.
Yeah, I would say the injury thing too, Pat, but I would give him an offense that fits him well.
Right.
He doesn't know right now what he's going to get because they don't know what the offense is, but an offense that's going to fit him and allow him to excel. We saw what he can do when he's healthy, but give him an offense that fits him well and keep him healthy.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. I don't think Florida knows what offense they're going to run.
Yeah, I don't know right now. I don't think they're going to have to look at personnel.
They got to see personnel. They got to see them in the spring. They got to run plays that they have in their arsenal, and then they're going to probably play
and look
off
at the
of
quarterbacks
that.
and the
Look at their
receivers.
quarterback.
And the Ohio State guy, I think he's a drop back passer, Pat. If you look at his size and
so they may be thinking that's the way they want to go. Finally, Robbie, for Damian Pierce, I think you and I are both going to agree on this. Merry Christmas, Damian. We're giving you 20 carries.
No, I'm giving him 25. Okay. But yeah, that would definitely be the gift to him.
That would make me happy. If he went 25 carries for 19 yards, I would go, I was wrong.
But Pat, that isn't just a gift for him. I think it's a gift for Florida fans who wonder why in the hell he hasn't been carrying the ball more.
It is, absolutely. So those are our Christmas gifts that we wanted to give away. But one last thing we have to do with Robbie before he gets out of here. You're
tossing me, huh?
Well, you can stay.
No, I'm good.
No, you can stay for all the this, that, and the other, and all those other things if you want to. But the Adams Ribco to go, Gator of the Week, we have decided to give to Robbie Andreu.
Oh, woohoo!
And the reason I'm giving it to him is
Gator of the Week.
Robbie had the best line on Urban Meyer, and I've repeated it to people, and every time I do, they go, "Oh, that's good." Oh, yeah, that's good.
So you're giving me credit.
So I'm giving him all the credit. I want to make sure everybody knows because I'm going to use this line down the road.
You should.
Yeah, and then, but this is the last time I'm giving him credit. But his line on Urban Meyer was that he treated college players like pros and pro players like college players. And
that doesn't work.
That summed it all up.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Well, you look at Florida, Pat. He had the freshman getting hazed like you would in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he had, if you played well, you went to the champions dinner. If you didn't, you were over here not part of the team.
Yeah, and you also the stars you let get away with anything.
Yeah, the track record there is so obvious. And then you go to the NFL and you're kicking
the
a guy.
first time I said that to somebody, I go, "You let players get away with murder," and they went literally, and I'm like, "No, I'm not saying that."
But that's true though.
Well, it in a way, turn out to be true. But then when he gets to the NFL, he thinks, "Well, I'm the CEO. I'm in charge. I've been given all this power by Shad Khan that basically you can have anything you want.
Yeah.
If you want to take a yacht to practice or whatever." And I think he lost himself a little bit.
I think so too.
But I'm telling you, nobody's ever summed it up. I do give you credit when I do radio shows.
Thanks, Pat.
Credit for that. All right, we've got to get a break, though. We'll come back with all the fun things we love to do, including this, that, and the other. Adams Ribco to go Gator of the Week we did. And it's Robbie. Do you get a certificate for that?
Do I? A gift certificate?
How about if I buy you a beer?
That'll work.
Okay. Hand Law, three things. Of course, Hand Law also sponsors Robbie's segment here. And the Hesser and Kipke games of the weekend. There are a lot of games at different sports, and we like to give them all to you. We'll be back with that. I hope you guys are going to have a Merry Christmas, and then we're about to get out of here for a while. But we'll be right back on Another Dooley Noted Podcast.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
Car accidents, trucking accidents, motorcycle accidents, and wrongful death. If injured or killed by the negligence of others, who will fight for the compensation you deserve? Shakow and Mercadante, 5 lawyers, more than 100 years of combined legal experience, millions in settlements and verdicts. Call Shakow and Mercadante, 371-3000. 3000. Rebuilding lives.
Another Duly Noted Podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point. You can watch and listen to us on Facebook and YouTube for every podcast that we do on Mondays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, any of the other 39 platforms where you can find this podcast or your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below or call me if you want to do some advertising at 352-317-3444. Hello there, everybody. I'm Pat Dooley, of course, from Another Dooley Noted Podcast. And this is a great Adam Brewer, and he's just opened up a place here, Adam Brew To Go. What gave you the idea to do this, to have a to-go place?
We really like the fast concept, being able to get the barbecue. Now we have this new online ordering. So before it was a call ahead carry out, quick service. We have like a curbside kind of a deal where everything's ready to go for you. And then we thought, wow, we have a really great dine-in concept, but how can we make this streamlined for the customer and make it easy and accessible for all parts of town?
Adam's Rib Co. To Go. Come on down and enjoy it.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Trebo Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Fight Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
The Gainesville Quarterback Club wants you to be a member. The football season is over, except for the bowl game, of course, but they are taking applications to be a member, and there is another one in the spring where they have the first spring game where they have the head coach, Billy Napier. You will be there, I would assume. Maybe our first chance to really talk to him. I'm looking forward to that one. But they're taking applications for the oldest quarterback club in the Gator Nation. Simply email a request to membership@qbclub.org or just email me or just call me. You know how to get a hold of me, 317-3444. My number may be the most known number in the world. It's like right behind 867-5309. But don't worry about it. Call me. I will get you hooked up with the right people. I'm recommending it.
Good quotes.
All right, we are back here to close out before Christmas. And, of course, we'll be back Monday. We'll have a great show. Alyssa Lang is going to join us from the SEC Network on Monday. And then Jeff Chandler, the all-time leading scorer in Florida history, will join us on Friday. So we'll be back. But Robbie is sticking around for this segment. We love having him. I know for some reason, like I said, people love you. I don't know.
I don't get that either.
No, I don't. But one thing we do need to do, the Leonardo's at Millhopper Quick Picks. We have 50 names here. 50. Look.
Let me see.
There's 50.
Okay.
I don't want you to see any of the names. Because Robbie is just going to give me a random number between 0 and 50.
You want it now?
Between 0 and 51. He's going to give me a number. It's going to be an important number to him, and that's who's going to win our Leonardo's at Millhopper Quick Picks for this last segment we're going to do, and then we'll start another one on, I guess, Monday, right? So, Robbie, drum roll.
You ready for it?
Give me a number.
58. Only kidding. Okay, here it is.
I started to look for 58.
39, Pat.
39 because?
That was Nat Moore's original number when he got here, and I love that year he had.
It was.
So that's my number, 39.
Okay.
Big play.
So 25, 26, 27, 28, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 30. What?
Have you forgotten how to count?
I have, yes.
You need me to do that?
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 36, 37, 38, 39. Andy McIntosh, you are a winner.
You're in.
Andy McIntosh, and just be in touch with me, Andy McIntosh, and I will get it to you, and we can mail it to you, or we can meet if you live in Gainesville, and we'll be happy to do that.
What's he getting?
He's getting $25 gift certificate at Leonardo's plus
nice.
a really nice Nike hat and a couple other items, including some golf balls. So
You could throw in this hat, too.
I could, in theory. But because it's Christmas, we want to do something else. So we're going to throw another $25 at Leonardo's, thanks to Kyle Cohen over at Leonardo's, in to another number. So you give me another number, Robbie.
You want another one?
Yeah. 0 to 51. Somewhere in between.
I'm going to do 11 because of where we're at right now and because of Steve Spurrier.
Bob Julian is our winner. So, Bob, just let me know, and I'll mail that to you, or we can meet, and I can hand it to you. Although I think the price of a stamp may be less than the price of gas.
Probably, yeah.
All right, so that is our Leonardo's and Mill Hopper quick picks, and we've been loved having them as a sponsor all year. We'll keep that going. We'll start a new one on Monday. But those are our two winners, Bob Julian and Andy McIntosh. Make sure you guys get in touch with me. You know how to do that. Patrick Dooley 54 at gmail.com. Isn't that a sexy email? Patrick Dooley 54.
Well, it was until you started talking like that. Don't do that again.
All right. It's time for Robbie's other favorite segment, This, That, and the Other.
And then head to the house.
Yep. This, That, and the Other is sponsored by, of course, Ironwood Golf Course, Darth Shakow Insurance, and the Ballyhoo Grill. Oh, we had a little party the other night.
That was fun the other night.
Yeah.
We were loud, though. Why is that?
We were Roush loud.
Chris Harry was very Roush loud. And when he went into his shtick, did you see Molly and Cindy? They were like mortified.
I asked her how many times they've rolled their eyes in their lives. It had to be a
classic.
Who was it? Oh, he was doing the scene from Injustice for All.
Yeah. It was like, no.
All right, This, That, and the Other. This is, everybody says there's too many bowls, and all these people that say there's too many bowls. You know, and I hear it on the radio all the time, and it's just like, okay, I've got to have a take, so let me have a take. It's not affecting you. It's not hurting your life.
No.
Nobody's holding your eyes open. But there weren't too many bowls because they added another one. They said, we got to have a bowl here. We got to have this team in a bowl, so let's add a bowl. And ESPN says, well, here, yeah, of course, we'll take it. We'll pay for it.
And I'll watch it.
Yeah, and I'll watch it because it's marketing.
Yeah.
You know, it's content for ESPN. That's all it is. And, of course, the other, Robbie, is that in the first bowls that we've had so far, which have been not exactly the household names, right?
No, but they've been entertaining.
I've watched them all. I've seen
too.
Parts of all. Bowl ratings are up 31%.
People love college football.
They love their college football. So,
you can't have too many bowl games.
Yeah.
I mean, look, people complain after football, oh, we missed football. Well, we should have had 10 more bowl games.
Well, I'm going to miss the Gator Bowl this year
if
they don't have that. All right, so we have to get to the next thing, which is, well, you want to go handle all three things by your sponsor?
Sure. Do it, Pat. In your normal voice.
You didn't seem excited. Hey, Evan, can I get the time up there too?
Oh, I messed you up. Sorry.
That's okay, Evan. This show would not go on without Evan. Do you know?
No, absolutely not.
It would be scary how bad it would be. Of course, Three Things is presented by Hand Law, a Florida law firm which helps clients with government. You can learn more about Hand Law by visiting its website at www.hand.law. The firm is available for consultation in Jacksonville.
Can you guys tell he read that?
No, I didn't read that. I was just looking at the
But
wall.
you know it. You know it by now.
All right. Here's the three things. Number one, why is Cooper Kupp not getting recommendations for the MVP of the NFL?
He's unstoppable, Pat. He's unbelievable.
And guess whose fantasy team he's on?
Yours?
So Oh, he has won so many Monday night games.
Well, you can't stop.
Scored
the guy.
like 34 points in fantasy.
Does anybody run better routes than that
And
guy?
by the way, that's all the fantasy talk. We're allowed 10 seconds.
Okay.
That's it.
Done.
But I love watching this guy play.
Me too.
Look at the numbers for him. He's on pace for 148 catches and 1,973 yards. That would break all the records that have been set.
Amazing.
But again, he's got a 17-game season too. So he'll probably get to those records. But it just seems like these are the greatest athletes in the world for football, right? Why you couldn't take him out of the game. Instead, he's getting like 13 catches.
Yeah, they know he's going to get the ball.
It's
and
not like he's
can't
going
stop him.
6 for 120. He's going 13 for 120.
He'd be a great wide receivers coach when he retires because he knows how to run routes and get open.
I love me some Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's great.
He's made me back to being a Rams fan. I'm calling it right now. Rams.
You should have never left him, Pat.
Well, when they moved to St. Louis, that bothered me. I was all about the L.A. Rams.
Yeah, Roman Gabriel,
Deacon Merlin
Jones.
Olsen, Jack Youngblood,
Deacon Jones.
Who was Jack Snow? Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who was their running back? Jorgensen. Yeah, they were. I love that.
They
team.
were a fun team to
But
watch.
they moved to St. Louis. I went, now you're a different team.
And they had different uniforms when they moved.
All right, number 2 on Hand Law 3 things. The NHL is skipping the Olympics. They've decided we don't want any part of it, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for anybody for not wanting to travel anywhere. I get where we're at here. Let's not get into too much detail, but obviously for the NHL, they don't want to play in the Olympics anyway.
No.
They're like, we got to go over there and represent our country against the guys we are on our team.
I know,
They don't want to do that.
I don't get the.
It works for golf. I
Yeah.
think it really works for softball better than anything. And I don't know why they ever took it out. I think for baseball, it's a boring, who cares?
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, hockey would be the same.
But
way.
hockey, I don't even care.
I don't
Look,
either.
we had the only hockey game that matters. It's already been played.
Yeah.
We don't need any more hockey
No,
games.
we're over that. Way over it.
Yeah. Finally, the SEC in basketball this year, I watch a lot of it, and it's not been quite what we thought. There are a lot of really good teams. Unfortunately, LSU is, and the whole Will Wade, how he has his job.
You don't like that guy, do you?
I hate him. He's a cheater.
Yeah, he's gotten away with it though.
So far. But the bottom half of the league, and Florida's kind of treading water in the middle of it. By the way, the Gators are playing right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people
Stony
are
Brook.
watching. Because I know all of you are mesmerized by the Stony Brook game.
On the way in, I was listening on the radio. It sounded like a lot of echoing going on in the arena there. So I'm only guessing there wasn't much of a crowd.
Yeah, I don't even know why they play games like that. But so Florida, the SEC right now they've got a lot of bad teams according to the net rankings and everything like that. Mississippi State right now would be out of the SEC tournament. Florida would be one of the last 4 byes, so that would get them 7 teams in, which isn't bad, but it's not great.
No.
I think everybody thought this league was going to be great this year, and it's not quite that good. Kentucky's got their best win is the one they just got over North Carolina, but other than that, haven't beaten anybody, lost some game. I mean, there's just the SEC is not as good as I thought it would be. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but we'll know more when they start playing each other, Pat.
By the way, Ole Miss lost the other day. You know why? Because Quiz Glover went for 21.
He did?
Yeah. Who did he play for? He plays for somebody, not Florida anymore.
I kind of liked the kid the way he played when he first got here.
I did too. I think with the guards they had, he just knew he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Noah Locke transferred to Louisville because he wanted to handle the ball more. Well, he does a little more.
What's happened to him there?
And he's been okay. The other night he had like 17 or 18.
That's good.
He's a good player. He is what he is. But he wasn't going to be any different here.
He wasn't going to play point guard here.
No. They decided against that. All right. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, we have, is that a word?
No, but you just made it up.
Okay. Not leastly, we have the Hesser and Kipke Games of the Weekend. Hesser and Kipke, which also does the Monday spreads, but the Hesser and Kipke Games of the Weekend are brought to you by Hesser and Kipke, which goes without saying. A law firm based in Hale Plantation specializing in employment, workers' comp, and family law. Visit their website at www.hklaw
You having a
This is
problem
like
there, Pat?
Bloopers. www.hklawfl.com or call Ken and Jennifer at 352-339-9920. And thanks so much for Hessler and Kipke. And now we got all these games to choose from and all these sports. So we're going to give them to you today. Bowl game of this weekend. I'm going with the game that's being played in about a couple of hours.
The Navy-Missouri game?
No,
No?
Missouri and Army.
Oh, Missouri and Army.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
try
yeah.
to get the brand
That'll
of the
be
service
interesting
right.
to watch.
By the way, I do have to apologize because I said that my father-in-law was in the Army. He went to Army,
I
but
thought
he was in the
Navy.
Air Force.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so we all messed up.
Oh, okay.
But he went to the Army. He went
Yeah.
to Army. So,
Then it's
anyway.
Army. Army it is.
so Army is playing Mizzou, and I love that game. I think
Yeah.
that'd be a fun game to watch.
Missouri
Army
can't stop the run.
Well, and the thing is, Army was a slight favorite, and then Tyler Batty opted out.
That hurts
the
Missouri,
great,
yeah.
he's their whole offense. So now it's up to 6.5. Army's a 6.5 point favorite.
Missouri can't stop the run unless they're playing Florida.
I know. Also, Christmas Eve, I'm throwing this game out there. Memphis, Hawaii. You want to watch that, Robbie?
Yeah, I did.
Memphis 8.5 point favorite. You've just finished putting the bikes together and everything.
Yeah.
And
Turn
had
the game on.
Got a
Have
hot toddy.
Yeah.
Perfect way to spend your. And of course, the SEC game of the week is Florida UCF. I mean,
It's kind of a rivalry game because of everything that's going on outside of it.
It's a chance for Florida to go 4-0 against the state.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's on the line.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on there. And it's Thursday, of course. Florida now is up to a 7-point favorite. They actually went
Yeah.
down to 6, but
And it
came up
is
to
the
7.
UCF Super Bowl, Pat.
It is.
They want this game more than anything.
I don't think they're very good, and we'll just see how Florida does. I've heard people talk about this game both ways.
Yeah.
Like and again, I know I tend to be a negative,
You are negative.
nattering nabob
Yeah.
of negativism, as Spiro Agnew put it. But I just don't know. I don't know what this team's going to be like. And again, we're going to get that little email like 20 minutes before the game
Who's
going,
not playing?
these players are not playing.
Yeah, you get to look at that list, you might have a better idea.
Emory Jones, Carlos Del Rio will be starting at quarterback with no snaps in his career.
It's not Del Rio, Pat. It's Del
What-
Rio something.
Okay, I don't know what his name is.
You
That's
said he was Del Rio, though.
Well,
He's Del Rio something.
okay. Del
He's got a
Rio.
long last name.
Okay. Well, when he plays,
Okay.
I'll talk about him. All right, basketball wise, there's not much because obviously it's Christmas weekend. But there is the Diamond Head Classic. The championship game Saturday, you may be at a point where you just want to kind of lay back and watch some basketball. We don't know who's going to be in it, obviously, because they're playing like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But there's a couple teams you may be interested in, Vanderbilt, and a couple other teams around from our Power 5 conferences. So that's all we got and can give you basketball-wise. NFL-wise, the game of the weekend, Buffalo at New England. That'll be a good
That'll
one.
be a real good one.
Yeah, of course, that's basically a division championship game. New England right now a 2.5-point favorite. And the under-the-radar game, Jaguars at Jets. Because
Oh,
if the
my God.
Jaguars win that game, now they may ruin their number one pick.
But
and
who are you going to pick if you have the number one pick anyhow? There's not like where
I
do you
don't know
go?
who I'd
Where do you
go
go
with.
with that?
Would you go with Aiden Hutchinson? I don't
know.
think he's a number one pick. I think he's a really good player. I think he'll play good.
But not the number one.
Would you
pick.
go with Thibodeau or? I mean, is
I
that a
don't know.
number one pick? I
The
don't.
Jaguars have so many needs.
Yeah, maybe they need to win this game and get the second pick. By the way, the Jets, who have 3 wins, the Jaguars 2, are 2.5-point favorites. The Jets are. So I think that's everything. Did we get everything?
What about
covered?
your YouTube comments sitting up there?
Oh yeah. Shane wants to know. Close your eyes when Napier talks to you. We're here. Jim the Shark Humper.
I want to know, Shane, what are you smoking?
He sounds exactly.
No, he doesn't sound anything like
No,
it.
he doesn't. I don't.
Napier has a southern accent. McElwain had nothing close to it.
You know what I've noticed too is that Napier's got a little limp. I wonder if he needs a little
Maybe.
hip surgery or something.
Good.
Well, maybe we can bond in that way.
Yeah, you could tell him how to recover.
Yeah, I can.
You could lend him your walker when it's after his surgery.
How we're going to recover from this weekend, we'll never know. We're out of here for a while. I'm not doing radio. Robbie's going to have a great Christmas. Evan's going to have a great Christmas. I'm going to have a great Christmas. And we hope you have a great Christmas. You guys have made this show what it is. And the numbers have been great. Sponsors have been great. We love everybody out there, and we love all you people for watching this show or listening to it. And it's been a lot of fun. I could not be doing it without Evan Miller over here.
Good job, Evan.
The star of the show. And obviously having Robbie in here is a huge plus, especially when he wears a hat. We're going to come up with a new hat.
This isn't a hat.
What is it?
It's I don't know, what would you call it?
It's a bonnet. You're wearing a bonnet.
Cap. Santa cap.
A cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in your kerchief and her in her cap, or is that what it is?
Stop it.
All right, let's get out of here. We got to do that. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, and Happy New Year to you.
In jail.